All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, for all you procrastinators out there, listen, there's always next year. By this time of December, there's no need of waking up upset with yourself, mad at the world. You procrastinated another year. Just let it go. Just let it go. Okay? Just smile and laugh and go, you know what? We'll do better next year. Okay? That's for all the procrastinators in the world. All right. I can relate. I can relate. So that's not our word today, by the way, procrastination. Maybe tomorrow. Uh, Today is assiduous. Assiduous. Alan Schultz uses this word every day. I can promise you. Assiduous, just like I do. It was actually Vicky France. We hear you, Vicky, in your day of realizing you didn't get all your Christmas. You just started your Christmas shopping. We're going to talk about Assiduous. We do see no birthdays today. So if it is your birthday, let us know. And Hill Blue, don't say it's yours. Yours is already passed. Hill tries to get in two or three birthdays on us every year. But all right, assiduous. So if we look at the definition of assiduous, it like showing great care, attention, persistent effort. An assiduous person sticks with something, works carefully, and keep showing up even when it's boring, it's slow, it's hard. I feel sorry for myself. Nobody knows what I'm doing. That's what an assiduous person continues to show up. I was actually having a conversation this morning. He might be on. I was having a conversation, literally had an in-person meeting at 6:45 this morning at my office. And it was with a real estate broker. And he was actually talking about the hardest thing for real estate agents is to employ theirself. It's to show up every day when no one is watching. No one's going to call them. You know, when I was a teacher, if I didn't show up to school, well, I'd be getting a call about 8:30 when my class was unattended. You know, hey, Coach Palmer, where you at? Like your kids are running wild. But when I started being an entrepreneur, Super Dave Kirtley, no one's on my doorstep. No one's calling me. If I slept in till 10 o'clock, guess who? No one would say anything today. Which for some people would be like, wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. But if you did it too many days in a row, you'd be like, what happened to my business? And that's what he was actually saying about real estate. He was like, they don't sell any homes, but they don't ever show up to actually list and show homes. It's kind of important. Kind of important. So Assiduous, Andrew's like, where are you going with this? Assiduous is a focused effort. It's consistent attention to detail. It's steady, it's faithful, and it's following through. Have you ever started a project and not wanted to see it through? You're like, okay, it sounded like a great idea, but this is starting to get on my nerves. But are you the type person that fights through it, even though you might be a little irritable from time to time, to get to the other side? I would call you an assiduous person, like you're somebody. So why is that important? Well, I would say our health, our relationships, our business, it rarely comes like by just happening. It takes cultivating. It takes working on. It takes showing up, even on the days you don't want to. It comes from the small, assiduous habits every single day. And here's what happens. I believe when people, so let me say this. In my world of sales, because I transitioned, okay, Um, here's what I believe happens when, and I'm just going to use sales, I'm going to use profession. When you're an assiduous person, you start to build trust with people. because people see you follow through. Do you know anybody out there that they're like here today, gone tomorrow, back next week, 2 weeks later, you're like, where did they go? Now they're fired up. Now they're not. Now, surely you don't know anybody like that. I see it every day in business, every day. But the citiest people, they show up. You never worry about them. I used to say when I was a coach, it was that assiduous person, that player, I know they're going to be in the locker room. I know they're going to be in their locker ready to go to practice. I don't have to worry about it, right? Put a one in the comment if you think Andrea Rosser is an assiduous person. Look at all these ones, Andrea. Okay? She's like, "Oh my goodness. You called me out." And I'm out of time. I got to finish up. But here's my point. I've been with her for 15 years in this business. The reason she excels is because she shows up. You never have to question if she's in the locker room or if she's at the locker. She has hard days, right? She has to deal with Hill Blue. But here's the thing. She continues to show up. I'm kidding, Hill. I love you, buddy. And guess what happens over time? People trust her. People see that she follows through. And so my ending comment today, and I'll turn it to Andrea before she hurts me for calling her out. A lot of times, assiduous effort, it's quiet. It's often unseen. A lot of times unappreciated. But it is usually the difference between people who wish and people who actually go out and change their life. And you go, why did they change their life? Why are they so lucky? Because they just continued to show up. They continued to do the work, even when no one was watching, even when no one was giving them accolades. And you look up, and 15 years later, she's still growing a business full time. So, Andrea, I'll turn it to you. I'll be quiet.
Great lesson there, coach. I love it. And so, big dreams are built on assiduous days. Show up when it's not exciting, and you will live a life that is. And I love that. Like, this is such a powerful word. I'll tell you, I had to listen to the little guy on the computer tell me how to pronounce it like 15 times because I don't think I've ever used this in a sentence. I've read it in a sentence. I don't think I've ever used it, but it is such a powerful word because, when we think about life, if we want real change, we cannot just be excited. We have to be assiduous. Excitement is just the spark, right? It's just that quick little moment, but the assiduous effort is the wood that keeps the fire burning. So what I looked into is, okay, what are some simple ways that we can practice being more assiduous in our everyday lives? So first of all, and I'm going to go fast here, but I've got to pick one thing to show up for every single day. Okay. Not 12 things, not 17 things, not five things. I've got to pick one space. So maybe it's just 10 minutes of movement, right? I'm going to jump on my rebounder for 10 minutes first thing in the morning, or I'm going to get those 10 minutes of reading done, or I'm going to send 3 messages out for my business, whatever it is. But I want to pick something small enough that I can be consistent and then protect it like it's my young, right? This is something that I've got to make sure that I do no matter what every single day. This is something that I am just going to focus on daily. Next, I've got to decide ahead of a time. Okay, I'm going to start that whole sentence over. I've got to decide ahead of time what done looks like. So when I put my head down in bed tonight, I've got to be able to look at my list and I've got to decide right now, this morning, what is going to be done for the end of the day. So maybe that is I'm going to drink my water goal, right? Like by 7 p.m. So I'm not up all night, right? Or I've got to make 5 phone calls, or I will spend 15 minutes of focus time with my kiddos today. Whatever it may be, I've got to decide in the beginning so that I can measure my whether or not I hit it or not, because a clear target makes assiduous effort measurable instead of something that's kind of vague that I'm not quite sure I can do. Next, I've got to honor the boring reps. The days that feel slow or unimpressive are usually the ones that change us the most. When our brain says this doesn't matter, we've got to make sure that we're speaking back to ourselves saying, these are my assiduous reps and they absolutely matter. So these small efforts, but this consistent effort is going to add up and build us into something incredible. Next, I've got to tidy my effort, not just my house. So when I look at your week or I look at my week, right? So Joe, you're looking at what you've got on the calendar, and Arlene, you're looking at your different days. Where am I scattered? Like we've got to ask ourselves, where am I scattered? Where am I not focused? And where can I be more intentional? Because being assiduous is often just cleaning up our focus a little bit and staying with that one thing long enough in order to see the results. Next, I've got to celebrate consistency more than intensity. Okay. Anybody else train at some point for like a long run? Okay, I know, Coach, you've done marathons. I have not done half. Okay. And I might get really excited if I did like sprints one day and I ran my version of really fast, but that wasn't getting me to my goal of that run. I had to celebrate that every day I was just putting in a couple miles, a couple miles, a couple miles, and then a couple miles more. And that is the same with our life. So we have to celebrate when we show up. That one phone call, that one message, that one post, that one thing, even if it was imperfect, celebrate that because we're training ourselves to value that steady effort, not those dramatic bursts. Like we all have those days where I'm like, okay, today's the day, and I'm going to do 8 hours in the gym. I'm going to make 47 phone calls. I'm going to do a cartwheel. And then I'm dead for the next month, right? Because I overdid it that one day and it didn't really move the needle and I wasn't consistent enough to reap the rewards. And then lastly, use this word as an identity statement. So, how many times do we tell ourselves things that are a little bit insulting, right? Ugh, I'm so inconsistent. Or, man, I just can't, right? We say these things to ourselves. But what if we change that script for ourselves and say, I am becoming more assiduous. I show up, I follow through, I keep going even when it's not glamorous. What if we said that to ourselves every day? Imagine how far we would go in all the things and all the spaces that we're trying to move. I'm not trying to step on your toes, Tammy. My toes hurt too. This is a lesson we are learning together. So, Vicky, thank you so much for this word. And I would just ask, like, where's one area that we all want to be more assiduous this week? Pick one thing and then just go focus in that one little area, one small little daily action, and move forward in that space.
And it could be like a small Christmas gift for me. If we all, just saying, just giving you something to think about.
We're all going to
No,
send you ice cream, Coach.
I think I'm funny today. All right. Happy Tuesday. We love each and every one of you. We hope you enjoyed this word, guys. Let's go rock today. We'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one out there.
God
Really love
bless
you guys. Have a
you.
Have a
beautiful
great
Tuesday.
day.